Hi everyone, it's been a while since I've posted on Facebook. Haven't done many tours because of the virus, but what I've done instead is put on much weight, and this is to blame. I've started making my own cheese, made a few batches of camembert. Today I'm having a crack at making some brie. What I've done here, I've got my unhomogenized milk and I've boiled it up to 32 degrees, and I've just added some of this mesophilic aromatic starter and a little drop of this white mold starter as well. So I'm just leaving that for a little while, then I'm going to add my rennet to make it set. Okay, it's been 90 minutes since I started off the cheese making process. I've got some pre-boiled 20 mils water, 1.2 mil rennet, vegetable rennet, and now just going to add that to the milk mixture and stir that in really well. And this is what will set it into curd. So we'll film that next. In about 40 minutes, this should be set like jelly. Alright, so it's been about 50 minutes since I added the rennet to my milk mixture. Come on in and I'll show you what we're checking for now. So I get a knife and I put it into the mixture at about 45 degrees, and it should show a cut, a clean cut. Do you see that? As I'm lifting it up, there's a clean cut. That means it's set. So next step now, we cut the curd. So it's set a little bit like jelly at the moment. Now I'm bringing the knife down about 3 centimeters apart, and I do this all the way along. I'm just doing it as quick as I can, and then I'm going to go the opposite direction horizontally like this. And now we wait for the curd to separate from the whey. Okay, 5 minutes has passed since I cut the curd. Now it's time to turn it. And I'm going to do this 3 times. So this is my first turn. I just get it in there and turn it. Try not to mix it. You're not going to whisk it or anything like that. You'll break up all the structure. But just turn it over gently like this. And this is how the whey separates from the curd. So I'm just helping it by turning it like this. So I'll do this 3 times in total. I'll leave this for 10 minutes, come back, turn it, and another turn it at 10 minutes after that as well. So I'm just trying to separate the curd from the whey. Back at my brie making at the moment, and I'm about to separate the curds from the whey. And see all that water, that's the whey that's come away from the actual curds. So I'm going to drain off 1 litre of whey, and I'm going to replace it with this 1 litre of boiled water that's now down to 60 degrees, and that's how you cook your curds. So I'll just do that and I'll come back in a second. Okay, this is the whey that I've extracted. Now I'm going to put 1 litre of boiled water that's now 60 degrees, gently pouring it in to cook the curds that are left. I'm just mixing it through slowly. I don't want to overheat any certain piece. Just this is how you cook the curds. Very gently, trying not to break those curds up too much. And by the way, that whey, I can turn that into ricotta cheese as well. That's the plan at this stage. So 1 litre for the 1 litre that I removed earlier. Just let that cook now. Okay, I've cooked the curd, waited another 10 minutes, and now it's time to drain the new whey. And what I'm going to do then, once that's all drained away from the curd, I'm going to put the curd into this hoop. So I'll show you that in a couple of minutes. Okay, the basket is full, and that's just going to settle now, and I'll add a little bit more curds just to top it up, and this will settle overnight. Okay, it's been 5 minutes, it's been in the hoop. Just going to flip it over and I'll do this 5 times in the next couple of hours. Okay, so last night I left the brie out to sink into the basket, condense a bit, and this morning I've got some boiled water that's come down to room temperature. I've added salt to it, and now I'm just adding this white mold, mixing that through quite well before I brine the brie. So this is the brie here. I'm just removing the basket there. You got all the pretty patterns from basically the basket. And what I've got to do now is delicately maneuver it into the brine. So it's half submerged in the brine now. In half an hour's time, I'll flip that over so the other half is submerged in the brine, and that's what creates the mold on the outside. Hi everyone. Well, 8 days has elapsed since last I made this brie. So what I've been doing is every day I've been turning it over and keeping it at 10 degrees for that 8 days. Now it's time to wrap it. There's a nice mold. You can see the mold that's around the rind there. Beautiful mold there. So I just delicately lift it up, put it in some foil, and just wrapping it fairly loosely so I don't squash all that mold entirely. And it'll stay in my fridge now for about 2.5 to 3 weeks. Ideally, it's 4 weeks after the day that you make it that you can start eating it. 4 to 8 weeks is the best time to eat this cheese. So I just label it up so I know when it was made, and this will sit in the fridge. Now, the camembert that I made, today is the day that I'm tasting it for the first time. This is it here. I've just cut a little bit open and it's a little bit runny, bit gooey. I've tried it already and I was well impressed. I've been very busy also making halloumi cheese. This is one of my favourite cheeses to cook with, and it's dead easy to make. I might make a video of this next.